Maybe 280 watts, over 1,300 pp. So yeah, this thing's been great. Yeah, there's one, like I'm so far out. I don't know if you were ever to the Mullica Hill Ham Fest. That Ham Fest is about 10 miles north of me. And the only restaurants that have been close to me, about 2 miles away, is a traffic circle at Route 77 and US 40. There's been a diner there for years, and there's a Wawa there. It's just a little Wawa. It's not one of those super ones, And that's been it. And then a Dunkin' Donuts opened up right there at the circle, and next to it is this pizza place now. So there's no kind of any food that's deliverable way out here. They're just not coming out here. But this guy will deliver because he's only 2 miles away. I'm not a big delivery guy. Usually I'd rather pick something up. But just in case, if for whatever reason, it's nice to have the option. So, but I've been here almost 20 years, so things have not changed really at all, except this, very little change here, very little development. So, yeah, but everything else, pretty good. Enjoying retirement. I'm getting divorced. My wife of 18 years moved out about a month ago. This has been a long time coming. This is nothing, I don't want to belabor the point, but this has been a long time coming, and me personally, it's a good thing. So, we had a little tiff about 4 years ago, and but this one is the final one. It's amicable, though. It's nothing weird. You know how they get and everything. Of course, there's no children involved or anything like that. So it's not going to be a big deal. And I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay here. So, but that's it. Got that out of the way. And, so the only Asian food place is in Mullica Hill, which is about 12 miles north of here. And that's a combination of Japanese, Chinese. And that's pretty good. The only problem with that is they won't take credit cards under $15, and I charge everything to keep track of my cash flow. That's the only drawback to that place. But it is a distance, and so at that distance, by the time I get it home, I have to reheat it in the microwave a little bit. It's not, no matter how fast I drive those miles to get home, Steve, it's I gotta zap it. KD3HT W2SDR.
Yep. Okay, Frank. Well, sorry to hear about the marriage or the partnership disintegrating. But I recall in the past that you guys had. I think I remember that time. And well, hopefully, like you said, if it's amicable, that's the most important thing. You can agree to disagree and move on. So, wish you the best, both of you. How's your son Scurry, I think, making out? Is he on the air yet? Or?
Yeah, he's on the air. He's a tech. He's listening too. He said I was 30 over, so I'll get. If you're listening, Perry, do Steve a signal report. Steve is up in the Poconos. KD3HT is Steve's call. He's a tech, and, he's working on that general. He's got to get that. He's all set up. I sold him my Anon. Oh, that's right. I have a new rig. I sold him my Anon. Steve's up there, Perry, if you're listening, Saylorsburg, PA, up in northeastern Pennsylvania. So I sold him my 200D, and I bought a 7000 DLE. 100 watts. There's minor differences. They're pretty much the same radio, but, I wanted to give him a deal and get the newer model. So I've had that a few months now. So he's got the 200D set up for that. I talked to him on 10 meters. He got a good deal on a used AL80B Ameritron amp that looks like it just came off the assembly line. He got a great deal on that. So he's got an amp. And we put up a G5 RV that works very well here on this band and the other bands, but he really can't use it yet, except on 10, for HF. But, hopefully soon he'll get his general and then move on up the ladder. So, but, yeah, you're giving him 20 over. He's in Chester, Pennsylvania. You know where that is, Chester. So he's not too far from me. I guess Chester's about 30 miles, 35 north of here. Just across the Delaware from New Jersey here. KD3HT, W2SDR.
Who's that? You want to join?
Yeah, sorry about that. Kilo 8 Echo Whiskey Mike. Good evening, Frank and Steve.
No, it wasn't a problem. You're right on frequency, so I'm probably the one that's off. I'm not using anything digital. This is the T368, and Will Perry can't wait to hear you on. And I don't know your schedule, but yeah, it's a little effort to. Not sure what you're familiar with, so a little bit of effort to do the test. My nephew when did he get his extra? It's got to be more than a year, but he's been so busy. I don't know how much he's been on. And he's got a TS 950 and a couple of different AM transmitters. Nothing that's like complete. And he also got a nice 4400 pair 4400 amplifier for nothing. Really well made. And what else? He's got an ART-13, but that's got to be put back together. So eventually he'll get on here. I know he gets on 40. I think he operates 40 the most. I don't remember what his Chuck and I went down and helped him, get the antenna up better. He has like a, I don't know if it's a G5RV or closer to an 80 meter in a V4, a V type of scenario. But it's fed with coax most of the way. I think it has a balance. So it's, efficiency-wise, could be better. But it is away from the house and out in the trees and stuff. Huge stalks of poison ivy back there. We were all freaking about that. I never had it and didn't get it, but it was all around there. So very good, Perry, and we'll look forward to hearing you on. And Ed, it's been a while since I've heard you. Sound real good here. Wonder how much snow, if any, you guys picked up down there. We had 8 to 10 inches here. It was up at the boat. Up on Lake Ontario, they had about 12 inches. Unfortunately, here it's going away quickly. So Ed, pick it up and turn it back to Frank. KD3HT.
All right, Steve, real good. KD3HT in this small group. Kilo 8 Echo Whiskey Mike. Good evening. Hopefully Frank's hearing me. I'm hearing Frank real well, so I suppose he's hearing me likewise. Well, temperature right now is 32, no snow. It's just starting to spit snow. But a week ago, last Saturday morning, I got up early. 3 or 4 in the morning, I heard what I thought was rain pelting against the house. And when I got up at 5 o'clock to leave at 6, we had about 4.5 inches of snow on the ground. I was heading back to Uniontown, Pennsylvania, which is about 50 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. And I knew as soon as I started heading south, it'd be okay, and it was. I left, drove back there, and it was, as I got further away, I was able to look on my phone at the weather, and there was just a big cloud over this area. Coming back, that same cloud was here, never moved, so 7 o'clock at night, it was still snowing here, but it's all gone now. I really got into my my leaf pickup duties, but that's all done also. Real good, Steve, on the T368, and Frank, your 7000 sounding great. This is in a non also. This is a 100B, and driving a couple watts into an ACOM 1000. So Over to you, Frank. W2SDR. Hopefully you can hear me. Kilo 8 Echo Whiskey Mike.
Oh yeah, you're 10 over, Ed. No problem. I mean, there's a sidebander below us, but you're Q5. You know, sounding really good with the 100B. W2SDR. I guess I've had the 7000 for a few months now. There's a little bit of a difference. The receiver's quieter, noticeably quieter after you use it for a few days. But, you know, I just had to select the 7000 in the software instead of the 200. I didn't have to do anything else. Just unplug one, plug the other one in, and start using it. All the transmit profiles, all the rest of the stuff stays the same. So, but it's, you know, the other one, you know, I had for quite a while. So, you know, it's nice to get the new rig, but just a minor incremental differences, I would say. Well, we only had about 3 inches of snow down here. So, Steve, it sounds like you really got hammered. And it melted right away the next day. It was all slushy and just went away down here. So, you know, being closer to the ocean. Poison ivy is, oh my God, that stuff is brutal. That's really brutal. I've had little bits of it. You know, just a little spot here and again, like I've brushed against it. There's sometimes grows out back where I have the trash containers. You know, in the summer I got shorts on and my ankle hits it or something if I see it. Or if I don't see it and I rub against it. It takes a while for that stuff to go away. You know, and it itches like crap. I hate it, man. I hate it. I got weed killer. I mix up some of this commercial stuff and I put it in a little spray bottle, like a Windex size thing, and spot kill it when I see it. And it's hard to kill too, that stuff. So that's really bad. Ed, you're 25 over at my son's house up in Chester, so you're doing a great job. Yeah, sounds good, man. It's good to hear you guys again. I was wondering if you guys still are getting on down here. It's been a while since I've been around. I tune in here once in a while, but I don't hear anything. I don't stick around real long. And Steve, I'm on in the morning, still every morning, early, 4:35, usually for a couple hours. I'm either on, you know, it's all sideband, either 3720 or 3745. 45 I've been on for many years. And usually out of there by 7:30. I haven't been getting on here with any of the AMers, so it's probably before you get up, I would think. That's most of my operating is before the sun comes up, very early in the morning. KD3HT in the group with K8 EWM W2SDR.
What's Perry's call, Frank? Let me put that in the log so I have it.
Oh, okay. His call is KC3JVE. Kilowatt Charlie 3 Juliet Victor Echo.
Cool. All right. Well, very good on the new rig, and yeah, I had heard that you had sold it to Perry, and yeah, I haven't had my 3000 going in a while. I've been running this thing. I still haven't moved my T3 to get to the power supply for my solid state amp to look at it. So I have a feeling I may, but I've been using. I bought a AirSpy HF Plus, and I'm using that as a receiver right now with SDR Radio 3. I'm not. It's okay, SDR Radio 3. I really like to get it running on Power SDR, but I got to try some stuff to get it to work because it's got to use an EXTIO type of profile in. And somebody wrote a converter program to get over to an old version of Power SDR. I really like the feature in Power SDR, being able to grab the passband and move it around the carrier. You know, drag the whole thing without moving the carrier. Just, you know, make it unsymmetrical, and then you can close in one side. I haven't found another app that has that functionality, and for our use of AM, I find that extremely beneficial. You know, especially if you're on with a bunch of guys, it's easy to move the thing around. And so, but I'm happy. This works okay. I tried to load up SDR Uno to see what that looked like, and supposedly you're supposed to be able to use it with a EXTIO type of thing or a version of it, but of course that's not their primary objective. So trying to figure out if you can still do it and where to get the software is a pain. So I wonder if you guys are using Power SDR, or I know that the SDR radio works with the Anon, and wonder what application you guys are running. Yeah, I fortunately, knock on wood, have never had it. And my son is really allergic to it. I think both my sons are. And there's a particular soap that he buys. It's like in a tub, like a hand cleaner type of stuff. And that dries it out pretty good. It gets rid of the hairs and stops it from itching. I'll have to figure out the name of it. But it's like frog. I think it's frog. Really remove the root totally to get rid of that stuff. Who wants to touch it? Sounds like a gotcha. Up to you, Ed, see if you're still happy. Sometimes it comes back, sometimes it doesn't. See what you said there. Okay, on the storm bubble. Yeah, I was not sure which way it's going. Yeah, those are the stuff outside.
With W2SDR. Sideband is kind of wedgy out there, Steve, a little bit, then your signal went down. So I was able to copy about 80%. And I just got the dinner call, fellows, so I've got to run up there and do that. But comment on the poison ivy, poison oak thing. I don't know if I'm more susceptible or whatever. I don't get it very often, but I've had it 3 times on my arms, and I know I'm in trouble because within a day it covers me in places that you don't want it. So all 3 times I've gone to the emergency room. They give me these steroid tablets that are pyramided. You know, you take 6 the first day, then 5, and 4, and 3, and it knocks it out. Well, I'll what to grab a hold of me like nobody's business, and that's no fun, as you can imagine. Steve, I'm using Power SDR, Open HP SDR. It's got a couple features that Power SDR doesn't have that I like on CW, like the audio push filter and things like that. So anyhow, she's yelling down here now. So I'll make this one. You hear me, Frank? Over to you. I'll listen out as I'm going to get my dinner. W2SDR 73 Steve. Nice talking to you, even though for a short time. W2SDR from K8EWM.
Yeah, okay, I'll keep it short, Ed. W2SDR. We're using Power SDR MRX. It's designed for the Anon. Version 3.4.9, which is the latest. I guess it came out back in March. That's something, Steve, that shift that you're talking about with the passband, on AM, is worth every cent of the price of this entire radio. Because that function is unbelievable. There is no other receiver in the world that can do that. What that software can do. And that is just absolutely fantastic. And of course, as you guys know, I am just total SDR here. I will never buy, unless it's just on a whim, but not with my final two. This is weird. I thought we were going to start like some sort of email list about people, trying to get on here in the afternoons. I don't want to miss out, so maybe you could let me know, and then before he goes or something, what if there is, or any kind of schedule, or who's going to be around here, or maybe there isn't anything. So, I kind of know, to be honest with you. So, anyway, that's about it for listening. So, I'll put moderators on stage, but before we lose it, I'm going to sign out, probably get some chow. So it's great hearing you again. Over to you, Steve. K3HT, the group, signing out, W2SDR.
Yeah, now Frank went away and now Stevie came up.
Yeah, Ed is going through some changes, Ed. Enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, very good. Got shish kebab here and rice. So we'll do that. Thursday, so it's 30 to range.